everyone. What you see before you here is a little mini mold. And this is actually inspired by me watching the soap school videos. Sarah does videos in these pretty little small mold, and I'd love to have one like she has. But I saw this at the store. It's just a little office bin, but I decided to stack one inside the other. It makes it a little stronger. And I'd use it as a mini mold just for experimenting. And this indeed was an experimental soap for me. And what I have here is some homemade almond butter, which is just some almonds that have been put in the Vitamix and processed, and nothing else in it. And in this container, I have some local honey mixed with a little bit of aloe vera juice, and that's just to keep it fluid and easily mixable in the soap batter. Next, I'm going to filter out some rice milk that I've made, which was made with brown rice and brown and black rice, excuse me. I said purple because, well, obviously the milk is a purple color, and that's distilled water that has been sitting for about 48 hours with rice in it. And I did grind the rice with the stick blender a bit just to give more surface area. And I need to measure out for this recipe about 5 ounces of liquid. And you can see there that it's a very kind of a dark purple, mauve-y. I'm not sure what that color is, but it's there. In this container, I have my olive oil, my coconut oil. I have a little bit of cocoa butter there and a little bit of mango butter. And I'm actually going to use, once I add the lye to the rice milk, I'm going to use that to heat these oils and melt them. I've added the lye to the rice milk, and as you can see here, it's turned a little brown, but that's not because it's burned. Actually, I've been very careful with this and put this in a very cold water bath. It's just the reaction between the lye and the rice milk. So now I'm going to add the rice milk into my oils and butters and just let it work the heat from that. And by the way, it's not real hot. I let it cool a bit. So that rice milk set about, I think I was about 115 degrees. So it's not too hot. So I've got my stick blender ready, and next what I'm going to do is add in my almond butter here. It's a little thick. That homemade stuff isn't quite as fluid as the stuff that you buy. So I'm now going to stick blend this for just a bit to get that almond butter well incorporated into the oils and the rice milk. I knew I'd get it out. And I'm adding the honey just at the very last. Now, I made a miscalculation when I decided on this not to do a water discount, and I forgot. Well, I had the honey there in water. So this batch comes out a little watery. It's okay. I mean, after it cures a bit, it's fine. But it came out a little wetter than I'd intended. But once I cut it, it was great. So as you can see, I only added in part of the honey there because I realized at this point, I don't want this too much water in it. And the particles you're seeing there are those wonderful almond bits. And it's going to add a very mild exfoliation. It's ground very, very, very fine. I did check the temperature of this quite often because I wanted to make sure that with the honey and the rice milk and the almond butter in it that it didn't get too hot. And it didn't. Now the honey did darken it a bit, and that happens anytime you use honey in a recipe, but it does mellow out a bit at the cut, as you'll see. So after quite a bit of stick blending, I decided to go ahead and put it in the mold. It is well mixed. There's not a trace, and I ran this a long, long time. So I just decided to go for it. This was entirely an experiment. And again, I give full credit to Sarah at Soap School because she uses items out of the kitchen in all of her recipes, and I just love to watch her. And so I thought, hey, what do I have that I can do? I can grind up some almonds, and I've got this one. Oh, and I didn't mention that this is scented with with orange essential oil. I should have said that right at the beginning, which gave it just a fantastic scent. So you can see here it lightened up quite a bit overnight. It's still very soft, but again, that's because I added a bit extra water in it, so it's really moist. I didn't want this angle on the cut soap there, so what I'm showing there is that I'm cutting off the ends, that's all, just to give it a straight plane. It's so soft. So I'm just cutting the end off of it. I'm showing how flexible it is. So now I'm going to cut the first official slice. And everyone's going to look the same, obviously, because, well, there are no swirls. There's nothing really out of the ordinary in this except of the ingredients themselves. And I was really happy with the way it looks with all those little pieces of almond floating in there. It's going to give a very nice exfoliation, I think, a mild exfoliation, while treating the skin to all those wonderful phytonutrients in the almonds, along with the butters that are in this, the oils, and of course that rice milk. So if you would, in the comments, let me know what you think. I rather like the shape, actually. I thought, well, I won't be too happy with these because they're going to look like they came out of a muffin mold, but actually I kind of think they're kind of cool. So because this was such a small mold, I only got 7 real bars out of it. And that was better than I thought, actually, being such a small mold. Because I think, all in all, this was 29 ounces of oil, so a very small batch indeed. So I'll put these on the cure rack and let them sit for about a month, and they'll be ready to go. Thank you all so much. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you will. Leave a comment, share, and I'll see you again in the next video. Have a great day.